all still here.
Well, look at this. So what year is this?
This is 63. You always know it's 63 because it's the only split window coupe.
Oh, it's
a window in the back.
a split window coupe. Now this was
very rare car.
after the one that they had on Route 66. Is that right?
Here's why I thought you might get a kick out of the shot, because all this merchandise is in it. I don't know if you can get to it, but...
Well, I bet I can. Well, look at that. Oh, my God. Okay, what's that?
That's a Behringer motion display.
A Behringer motion display. Okay. Coming to Pasadena next month.
Uh-huh.
And because of that, I'm doing a big story about time and all that.
Wait till you see this piece.
Well, I bet it's going to be great.
Belief. This is going to tickle you big time.
I'm tickled already. Just in anticipation.
I told you if you come out of the car, I got a photo shoot for you.
Well, you were right. Now we're getting a look here. We're opening it up. Okay. Yeah, so I'm here talking to Dennis Boses, and I'm looking at this display here. Now, who makes this Elgin display? Is it actually made by Elgin or some other famous?
Probably manufactured by a mechanical company that I'm not familiar with. If you talk to Jim Maley inside, he might know the answer to that because Jim's up on those type of things. But
Now it shows some poor guy out. We see the tree, so we know it's the dead of winter, and he's trying to get his car started. He's got to wind it up.
Right.
But if you had one of these Elgin watches,
you don't have to wind it anymore. It's now self-winding.
Okay, well that's fantastic. Now, will this eventually be in your shop?
Yes.
Will it eventually be for sale?
Yes.
What would you speculate the price would be when the time comes?
You'll enjoy this quote. More than I paid.
More than he paid. Okay, and you take Visa, MasterCard, right?
You like that answer?
Buying peace, you're likely to
I think my chances
do
of
that.
Doing a profit are definitely higher than certain other times.
Now, when are you likely to sell this thing, since it does have a sort of a Christmas theme to it?
It'll appeal more to anybody who's automobile related, so it'll be it doesn't matter the season.
So it's for watch collectors, it's for
collectors.
Christmas collectors, it's for automobile collectors, it's for cloud collectors, billboard collectors.
And Christmas is probably not a reality, it's more winter. You're seeing it as an ornamental decorated tree, but in truth, it's just merely winter.
Ah, okay. And then
right? I mean, it really doesn't necessarily imply Christmas, it implies winter.
You're 100% right.
But I could see where, because the flocking on the tree, but that's all, what we try to create.
Well, in California, the only time I ever see a tree like that with stuff on it is...
I totally understand. So.
Is that. So are you at liberty to say where you acquired this item?
I bought it here at the Glendale Toy Shop.
Bought it here at the All-American Collector Shop.
All-American Toy Shop.
Okay.
That's the way to...
So these hubcaps are spokes and spinners. So what is the formal and technical name of this?
This is a 1963 split window Corvette coupe.
Okay.
Split window is the key phrase.
And I assume 5 on the floor, or how does that?
Speed.
It's a 4-speed.
4-speed control.
Wow.
This is a BMW motorcycle sign that I picked up here, but I have this BMW in my living room with a sidecar.
Now you had mentioned with your XKE that it was enjoyable to drive a car with 50-year-old technology. Going 70 in a 50-year-old car is like going 100 in a modern car. Does that apply to this car, which was, I assume, built for speed? Where I assume that the Jaguar was built for elegance and its design and appearance.
Both of these cars, the Jaguar is actually a 150-mile-an-hour car, and according to Graham Hill, who made an interview on the radio once about 30 years ago that I happened to hear on the way to the airport to pick somebody up late at night, it's the only true 150-mile-an-hour car ever built at that time. He was making that comment. And the Jaguar XKE. And this car is a 130-mile-an-hour car probably, but the torque on this car is tremendous, so you get a sensation of greater speed because of the torque, because boom. Anyway, this car is a joy to drive. It's
Well, so
very
so the
easy to
torque
drive.
means that it will go from 0 to 60 much quicker, where the Jaguar does it a little more gracefully and slowly and works it. So this just pops you there.
Right. This car sounds wonderful, it vibrates wonderful, and it's an absolute joy to drive. And for my money, it's always about as close to original paint and as close to original interior as possible. So I don't like restored cars, just like I don't like restored or modern things. I like patina, and this car is all about patina.
And where are some of the great places you've taken the car? Meaning, like, have you taken it to the Hillsborough Antique Show?
This particular car I'm going to drive tomorrow to Phoenix, Arizona to participate in Barrett Jackson, the big car show that goes on every January.
Ah. And so you're going there tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, good you got here today.
Yeah.
Is this, are you going to
This is a
go into the
representation of an oil well
the
with-
petroleum?
for an executive's desk with cigarettes. It was executed in 1969 by a fairly famous designer.
Did you remember the designer's name?
It's here on this little piece of paper. Lucella Wise was a well-known author in Oklahoma who had worked for Sinclair Oil until 1959, when she designed and marketed a line of executive business gifts that focused on the oil industry. Her first company was Oil Originals by Lucilla. This is one of her signature oil drops and was once marketed at the Dallas Mart. So her name was Lucilla, L-U-C-E-L-I-A. How would you pronounce that? Lucilla?
I think you nailed it.
And her last name was Wise, so she designed these things under the name of Lucilla, but her last name is Wise.
Now, Dennis, I understand word has leaked out that you're going to have some spectacular sculptures that you're going to present at the Monertism show in Palm Springs. Is there any truth to that?
That is correct, and we are going to show pieces that would be termed colossal.
Colossal.
Magnificent wooden sculptures with a very wide, broad interest, from sports figures to animals to musicians, laminated wood in scales that are so surprising, 8-9 feet, massive.
And are you able to say the name of the artist?
We are going to offer you the name of the artist when I get home and look at this paperwork and get his name. He's an 88-year-old man who has been doing this all of his life, and for the first time ever, 85 of his original pieces are going to be available.
Well, when did you first acquire this?
Recently, in the last few weeks, I've been working on a project with him and his son to see if we can't make this happen and expose this phenomenal work to the art world and to the general public.
So this is going to be the hit of the Palm Springs show.
Well, I certainly think it will be one of the things that helped the show be the magnificent show it's been in the past.
Well, I hear it's going to be the hit. That's what I hear. Now, Dennis, I was wondering, when you travel, do you have any difficulty getting through the airports? You don't need that. You've got these fancy sport cars. You don't even get on planes any longer.
it.
Because if you did, now let's see it do its thing.
Okay, so this was a gift from a client of mine, and it's an 18-karat gold switchblade that she suggested I would always be safe.